Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. Today I'm going to go over a new build that I've done and also a few of the updates that have been implemented, mainly the Wii motor that they have added to the game. Okay, at the minute, as you see, we are in the hangar for the carrier that I've built. It's not a massive hangar, and this is the heavy fighter that I've knocked up. It has the landing gear is flush with the bottom bodywork, so it looks streamlined most of the time. It's got 4 Gatling cannons, or whatever they are, either side, plus one in the middle there. Also 2 rocket pods on the front and the bottom. Also 1 rocket pod at the back in case of emergency. Now I've no lighting on this thing. It's all black. I didn't put any lights on it because whatever I'm going to be flying into is going to have lights on, and I want to be covert as possible. I may add lights at a later date because this is just a quick knock-up jet. It's a very quick design that I've built. There are actually 2 of them at the front of the carrier here, flying in front of it. So this is the front of the carrier. I'll explain what the lines are for in a bit, but there's some reverse thrusters. As we go to the front, you can see there are lights on the front of this, aerials. I have weapons both top and bottom, all the way along the top, most of the way along the bottom. We have side engines. So I've not added any colour to this yet either. I only finished it maybe 20 minutes ago, so I still have to add some colour to the actual carrier itself. As we move along the side here, we come to the command part of it. As you see, this is heavily weaponed up as well with rocket launchers and Gatling guns. We have the number of the carrier here, which is 72, which is a wee nod to my brother's old squadron when he was in the RAF. Little outrigs there with lights on and extra weapon systems coming onto there. As we get to the top here, again weapon systems, an emergency exit just in case, and a wee radar dome that I have spinning. Well, radar communications dome. Now this is spinning via the new motor that has been put in the game. It was a pain getting this done. I had to basically build a small craft, put it inside, and magnetize the feet to the floor, and it actually looks like I broke the one that was inside it. There was a foot inside there. I may have snapped it off, I forgot to put it on. But it's got 3 feet around the side and 1 on the inside just to try and keep it in position. I've got it spinning relatively slowly. It hasn't damaged itself or spun out of control, which I'm quite happy about. I was worried it was going to just go nuts and just rip itself apart, but it's not too bad. I've actually moved the ship as well around to see how maneuverable it is. It's basically a barge, so it's not amazing, but this stays in position, which is the main thing. That was one of the additions that they have. It's a weird way they build it. It's basically, I'll show you on the corner of this thing here. So there it is, motor in your usual setup. You would drag it down, place it wherever you want to place it. So say I want something to spin here, right? That's the motor down. Now that can be controlled from inside the ship. I can go in there. I'll show you with a random control panel here. See, if I come down here, right, the motor's attached to the ship. Whoop, all over the place. So I open it up. We go down. There's a lot of interior lights. Oops, motor. There you go. See? So you attach it to the ship. It's there, and it's on, right? But if I was to just put a block on top, right, attach a light, you see there's no power going to that light. Now this is the major gripe I have about this motor at the minute. Rest of it's pretty good, I do like it, but the major problem I have is electricity is not going through it. It's classing it as a separate ship. So to get power to this light, you would have to actually add, and I took the damn thing off, a reactor to it. So you add a reactor to that, and then either add the light to the reactor. What number is it? Either add it to that or that, and you'll see there's light now. That's the only gripe I have with this new motor. And then I can come over here, T, hit K, roll on down to, oh wait, where is it? The motor. Now the slide depends on which way it goes. So if I turn it on, slide it to the left, see, it's spinning out. Now also what you're going to have to do is, if I turn that off, it's just going to keep spinning, obviously due to momentum. So as I have done with the larger ship, you're going to need to chuck a gyroscope on top, and that's what controls the speed a lot better. Oops, is by having a gyroscope on. So now if I go in here, it probably needs you actually attaching something to the friggin' thing, won't it? Motor. If I put it full whack, that's it more or less going at full speed now. Now don't get me wrong, it's not bad. I mean, you can sink the motor down one, but having to have a generator on top is a bit of a pain in the arse, because you can never sink it flush with the bodywork and have stuff spinning on top, because you're always going to have this motor on, and that's always going to impact things as it spins around. So that's my major problem with this motor. They need to make it so electricity conducts through it, so you don't have to add a generator on top. All you have to do is make it part of well, it is part of the ship, but anything built on the rotating part has to be part of it as well. I think it's a new ship because it, you know, it looks to be a separate part, if you know what I mean, from the rest of it. And then obviously if you put the slider to the opposite side, it will spin the opposite direction. Now if I delete that, that thing's going to go nuts, or at least a bit faster. So that's the motor. Not a bad little thing, I actually quite like it. They just need to look at it a little bit more. So I'll go in through there in a minute. This is the back of the ship. So there's a few engines on there. I could probably do with a few more, to be honest, and I might add some more at some point, but it makes a nice little pattern in a minute. Now I have red and yellow lines on this because we're in space, so you never know whether you're upside down arse about face or what. So I've got red and yellow on. Red's obviously danger, so you don't land that way up. You spin your aircraft round until you're on the yellow line. That way, you know you're flying in the centre of the thing and the correct way up. And then follow the yellow line into the hangar bay area. And then you can fly out and go straight out the front way. See, two sides, two parts. I'll probably add more things and play around with it a bit more at a later date. Now, this is a little walkway I created to get me into the ship. As you see, it comes up in one of my corridors. Now, it comes up just in front of the engine room. Probably not the best place if I get boarded, but at the minute it's the only place I can think of. But I do have weapon systems at the other end here, and I'm probably gonna barrier in this area as well to go through checkpoints and whatnot. Plenty of power going through the ship at the minute. I'll explain what that is later. This in here is a storage area for the ore that's going to need to run this place. Now, depending on how they implement it, this ship can be modified to run the brain's gone blank conveyor belts. It can be modified to use the conveyor belts to go wherever it's needed. So you travel down here, as you see, weapon systems in the corridors, protecting our good men and women. That leads up to the bridge, I shall show you soon. This is a workshop, just full of assemblers in a minute because that's the closest thing we've got to workshop equipment. There's a yellow floor, keep it clean, lads. We run, oh, nearly missed this bit. If we run in here, see, this is very well defended. This is where ammo and whatnot will be stored for the various weapon systems. Again, this can be modified for the conveyors if it needs to go to the weapon systems and whatnot. The walls are extra thick all the way around this. It's also safe to try and prevent penetration of various weapon systems and, you know, exploding the ammo that's in there. You see, corridor down there, corridor there. We run this way. Most of this part of the ship is now parallel. Got another door there, which I'll explain in a bit. Excuse me. Come down here. Another long corridor. Now through this door, not sure what this is going to be yet. I was thinking crew quarters maybe. You know, whenever we get more bits and bats in the game, then I'll outfit this to be crew quarters. That was my idea when I was designing this thing. Yes, I actually sat down with a bit of paper and designed it. Roughly. This is the med bay. See, all nice, white and clean. Again, weapons, turrets facing the door in case they try and come in and finish off the injured. You've got to think nasty when you're in war, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll run down here. So it's not a bad sized ship, but I didn't want it closed down and really encased. You know, I want a wee bit of room to run around and whatnot. So I made it a fairly decent size. Now, these are at both sides of the ship. You saw one in engine bay, and there's one down here. These rotate down all the way down. A fair way, as you see, into the bottom section of the ship. Now, this bulge here, that bulge there, is the ammo dump that you saw. This is the landing bay and the landing tubes. So down here we have the gravity generators, some extra reactors there, and a load of gyroscopes. Now the ship is a bit sluggish when I slide it left, right, up and down with the mouse, you know, to point it in directions. I'm not sure if it's because I don't have enough gyroscopes. Probably is, so I'm going to add a bucket ton more because this ship is bloody heavy. I haven't actually checked what it was yet, but it's heavy, so I'm probably going to add a lot more gyroscopes, and they'll probably be down here because it's out of the way, and it is like a little storage area, armament area and things like that. So if I come back here and come up this one, so these were using the symmetry tool, which is a godsend because it made me build this ship a hell of a lot quicker than if that symmetry tool wasn't in. I've been doing this for days. Well, I was nearly doing it for days anyways. As you see, it comes out in the engine bay room for quick access to equipment, machinery and whatnot. So if we run down here, see the little guy giving it death, and then come through this middle one. It goes up here. Oh, the roof's nicely slanted so it looks a little bit professional. Again, weapon system facing down. Now these, again, are spare rooms. I don't know what they're going to be. These could be maybe combat quarters for soldiers, and you'll understand why in a bit. You know, Marines or Space Marines, what have you. Again, weapon systems and a couple of gyros. Now, as you see, this is very well protected. That's because this is leading to the bridge, and you know, if you take over the bridge, you're screwed. So this is well protected. And as we're going up to the bridge, you will see little offshoots here to other rooms. Now, this room here is probably going to be staging area, equipment area for outside the vehicle maneuvers. Because as you see, you come in here and it's technically going to be an airlock. Again, weapon systems there because it's a breach point. I'll put the jetpack on. This comes out to the back of the main tower here, and again, weapon systems all the way around it. As again, it is a breach point, so you're going to protect these areas. Whoops. So this would be technically an airlock area. You know, you can store your equipment in these containers, etc. You come through here. This is a bit like customs and excise. You know, you declare anything you're carrying as you come through here. Again, weapon systems to make sure you're not hostile. More storage area. You know, whenever I'm hoping when we get more, excuse me, more decorative bits and bats in the game, then you know we can really start filling these ships out and make them feel like they lived in. As we go up again to another deck. Good old auto save my arse so many times. More gyros. This is another, I don't know, storage slash briefing area. You know, this could be like a war room, I suppose. Tables, maps, etc. Again, as we go up, boom, here we are on the bridge again. Weapon system covering the area because you know there may be multiplayer and whatnot in this game at some point, so people may want to breach the ships, attack them, steal cargo and whatnot. So yep, more gyros, a load of control stations for various things. Come up to the big man's bridge. This is where the boss will sit. Again, control stations and a gyro just to look good, to be honest. And then we are back to the escape hatch, which is basically if ships are pressurized in the future, you know, if there's a hull breach or anything like that, or you're pretty much stuffed and you need to evacuate the ship, out the top you go. See plenty of view out the windows there. You see engines top and bottom. So some on this side as well. Now on the side here, on the website and forums, I've seen a few people using the floors and walls as external parts. So I stuck some of the flooring on as an external thing. Actually looks quite nice. Breaks up the monotony of just steel all over the place, I suppose. You know, at night, or in the dark, I should say. You're in space, it's always friggin' night. Out of the way of the sun, they do have that little glow to them, and they look pretty cool. So I like that. You can see down here more weapon systems protecting underneath. You know, rough protection at the back as well. I haven't really got many on the front, due to you will have fighter escorts, usually with a big carrier, or you know, frigate escorts and things like that. I'm going to build some smaller combat class ships, destroyers and whatnot, instead of these big carriers. You know, it is a very, very big, unwieldy ship. So not the fastest thing in the world. Now, I'm still impressed with my radar dome. I'm happy with that, actually. And the good thing is, as soon as you come through this, boom, gravity affects you, which I'm quite happy about. Let's give these lights a test that's on this thing, because I haven't actually turned them on yet. Oh. Yep, they're light and very bright. Obviously there's a lot of optimization needed in the game yet. As you see, even my frame rate's dropping now, and I have a beast of a PC. Although, looking at my processing power, it's 20%, 27% tops usage on one of my 6 cores. RAM's 20%, and graphic cards idling at 83% usage. So it's optimization of the game that's required for this stuff. Yep, the lights on the ship look cool. I'm happy with that. Now I'll get back up here and turn them off because it is lagging the bag out of the game. So fingers crossed, you know, they're doing a cracking job at the minute, these guys. They are optimizing like mad. Adding bits. Also, nearly forgot to mention, as well as adding that motor, the game is now 64-bit. So that is actually... Oh, I'll turn the lights off. You see, I'm moving my mouse to the right and to the left, and it's not responding very quickly. So, but speed-wise, it isn't too bad. Yeah, that's pretty heavy, that ship, like. Reactors are producing a fair lot. 300 thrusters, dampeners are on, 85 gyroscopes. I'm thinking I might need a lot more than that. I don't know. Oops. Oh, there he's saving in the middle of a manoeuvre. Up and down was fairly fast, like, so I'm happy with the manoeuvrability of it. You know, aircraft carriers of today aren't very manoeuvrable. So, you know, I'm happy with how I finished it off and how it's designed. Especially for my first actual large functioning ship, where I've actually sat down and designed it. Unlike my other ships, where I just build a shape and then wing it. That's how I've done most of the other ones. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a quick roundup of the updates and of the ship. Before I forget, there was one update which it's sort of an issue, but it was to fix the game. Debris, I think, now counts to maybe 20 to 30 and then starts vanishing after that. So all of us, like me, who built one of those massive mining ships that collects ore using gravity into a hopper, are basically useless now, because they've redone how the debris works and you won't be able to collect much, which is good at the minute because mine needed repairs as the pan was beaten to hell. But I'll maybe add that to this video and give you a quick look at it. Thanks for watching, guys. I will do another video on Space Engineers very soon. I'm going to try and keep up to date with this. It's a very, very fun game. I'm loving testing it and playing it. I can't wait to see what else to do for it next. Please like the video if you watch it and you like what you see. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos on Space Engineers and other games that I am testing and playing. You will find links on YouTube there to the Facebook page for this YouTube channel, also the Twitter page for this YouTube channel, and also my Twitch page, which I stream various games like PlanetSide 2, Battlefield 4. We'll be streaming things like Euro Truck Simulator in the future, you know, BeamNG, things like that. Other games I will be streaming while playing and testing. Thanks for watching, guys. See you very soon.